bro.
Looks like it's made of human skin. Could be wrong.
In March 2026, in a small and quiet inland town in Canada, a couple reported a series of unusual events that later gained attention online and in paranormal discussion forums. It began at night with loud knocking sounds on the exterior walls of their home, followed by faint whisper-like noises coming from nearby bushes. They also reported quick footsteps circling the house shortly after sunset.
Yeah. How is that? Turn the light on. Turn the light on again. The heck is that?
Well,
Turn the light off again.
At first, they assumed it was wildlife such as raccoons or foxes, but the pattern of the sounds felt too consistent and deliberate. After several days of repeated disturbances, the couple decided to go outside one night with their phones to record what was happening. While recording, they claimed to notice brief movement near the edge of the property, something small and fast that did not behave like a typical animal. According to their account, they managed to capture footage of what they described as a duende. The clip quickly spread online, where viewers offered different interpretations of what might be seen. Some suggested it could be a known animal misidentified in low light, while others connected it to folklore figures such as gnomes or similar mythical beings. No official explanation was ever confirmed, and the footage remains unclear. When something moves just beyond the edge of visibility, repeating patterns night after night, what do you believe you are really seeing? This footage was taken with a body camera in the Hinterland, a forested area on the Sunshine Coast near Nambour in Queensland, Australia. In the first video, a hiker stops to rest near a cluster of rocks, the forest around him quiet and undisturbed. As he looks around, he notices an old, weathered tent, partially hidden among the trees, and decides to take a closer look. The moment feels ordinary at first, but as he begins to investigate, something unusual starts to emerge in the background.
alright, put that there and I'll put my camera away in a minute. Just got to see what this is.
While adjusting his camera and speaking to himself, a tall, dark figure can be seen moving slowly behind the trees. Its movement is steady, almost careful, and it remains partially concealed by the forest. Moments later, it appears again, as if keeping pace at a distance, never fully stepping into clear view. The hiker's attention shifts when a loud snapping sound echoes nearby, like a tree branch breaking, though nothing visible explains the noise. The presence feels deliberate, as if something is watching and choosing when to be seen. In the second video, the hiker pauses along the trail and places pieces of bread on the ground, possibly for wildlife. As he does this, the camera captures a faint but distinct shape in the dense foliage at the top corner of the frame. It does not move quickly or reveal itself, but its position suggests quiet observation rather than coincidence. The uploader later suggests it could be something known locally as a yahi, though no clear answer is ever confirmed. If something was following silently through the trees, staying just out of sight, Would you feel certain you were ever alone? This footage was uploaded to YouTube by a small group of campers exploring a remote jungle region, far from any marked trails or known wildlife routes. The video begins in the late afternoon, with the men quietly setting up their camp and speaking in low voices. The surroundings appear calm, almost routine, with dense vegetation enclosing them from every side. Nothing in those opening moments suggests that anything unusual is about to unfold. As the camera continues recording, a sudden movement in the thick brush shifts the group's attention. Without warning, a large gorilla steps into view, moving with a slow, deliberate pace that feels unusually direct. Instead of retreating, it approaches the men and closes the distance without hesitation. In a brief but deeply unsettling moment, it grabs one of the men by the foot and drags him across the ground before suddenly letting go, as if the action carried a purpose that remains unclear. The group quickly pulls their companion back and creates distance. Their voices tense but controlled. The gorilla does not follow, instead turning and disappearing back into the dense jungle as quietly as it appeared. No explanation is offered, and the footage ends without clarity or closure. When something that powerful chooses to come closer instead of staying away, would you trust that it meant no harm? Before we go any further, I'd like to ask you for a quick favor. If you are enjoying the video so far, please give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. We're getting closer to 30,000 subscribers, and once we hit that milestone, a few lucky subscribers will receive a special surprise. Now let's go back to the video. A Miami resident captured a strange phenomenon in the sky. A rainbow-like streak appeared across the entire sky, stretching in a way that looked almost unnatural, as if reality itself had briefly shifted. The visual effect gave the impression that something had gone wrong in the atmosphere, creating a surreal and almost artificial-looking display above the city.
Bro, what is this? Yo! Look at this! I'm so, like, bro, what is this? This is the rawest shit I've ever seen in my life. Is it real? Like, what is this?
At first glance, it was difficult to explain through ordinary observation. The video shows a wide, luminous band cutting across the sky, with colors blending in an unusual pattern. Some viewers suggested it could be a rare atmospheric optical event, possibly related to a lunar rainbow or a type of halo effect caused by light interacting with moisture and ice crystals in the upper atmosphere. Scientists, however, have not confirmed anything unusual about the footage itself. While the phenomenon appears striking, there is no evidence that it is artificial or digitally created. Many natural optical effects in the sky are still not fully understood by the general public, even if they are documented in atmospheric science. Still, the unusual appearance has led people to question what they are seeing. When the sky suddenly looks unfamiliar, how certain can we be about what is real above us? A luminous object was captured during a severe lightning storm. In the video, the moment a powerful lightning strike hits, a brief and unusual structure becomes visible within the clouds.
You seen this? Oh my god. It's gone.
It appears only for fractions of a second, illuminated sharply by the electrical discharge, before fading back into darkness. The figure does not show a clear origin or any recognizable movement pattern. It seems suspended within the storm itself, revealed only when the lightning exposes its shape. Each flash suggests a defined structure, yet it disappears instantly once the light is gone, leaving no trace behind. Some viewers suggest it could be an optical illusion caused by the intensity of the lightning and cloud formations. Others argue that the shape does not match any known atmospheric or technological phenomenon. There is no official confirmation, and no identifiable source has been established. The video is shared as it was recorded without edits, without added effects. No claims are made. No conclusions are drawn. Only observation remains. What do you think after seeing this scene? Could it be an unknown natural phenomenon? Or just a misinterpretation of what our eyes are seeing? A Reddit user known as Olive for Life shared this image after taking a solo trip to Hampstead House in Connecticut. The photo was captured late in the day, as fading light settled over the old structure and its quiet surroundings. According to the post, nothing unusual was noticed at the time the image was taken. It was only later, while reviewing the footage, that something unexpected appeared within the frame. The image reveals a faint, human-like figure standing near one of the darker corners of the house. Its outline is subtle, almost blending into the background, yet distinct enough to draw attention. There are no clear facial features, no sharp edges, just a pale shape that seems slightly out of place. Given Hampstead House's long history of reported ghost sightings, the presence feels difficult to dismiss entirely. Some viewers believe the figure resembles a young colonial girl, while others suggest it could be a trick of light or shadow. No additional images were captured, and the figure does not appear in any other frames from that visit. The user offered no further explanation, leaving the image open to interpretation. Whether it was a brief visual anomaly or something more deliberate remains uncertain. When a single moment reveals something that wasn't there before, would you trust what your eyes are telling you? A man documented this moment during a solo hike through a quiet stretch of woodland, later sharing the footage online. The video begins in the late afternoon, with filtered light coming through the trees and the forest unusually still. As he walks off the main path, something partially buried in the ground catches his attention. It appears to be a small, weathered box, half covered by dirt and leaves, as though it had been there for a long time. Curious, he kneels down and carefully opens the box, unsure of what he might find inside.
And a tree was uprooted and uncovered it, and I don't know exactly what it means entirely, but anyhow, looks like it's made of human skin. Could be wrong.
Resting within is a peculiar doll, its surface worn and its features slightly distorted in a way that feels difficult to ignore. The material looks aged, and its shape suggests it may have been handled or altered over time. As he holds it up to the camera, there's a quiet pause, as if he's trying to understand what he's looking at. Some who later viewed the footage believed the doll resembled something used in ritual practices, though nothing about it is clearly explained. He eventually places the doll back into the box and leaves it where he found it, choosing not to take it with him. The camera captures one last look at the partially buried container before he steps away and returns to the trail. No further details are shared, and the object is left undisturbed in the forest. When you come across something hidden, something that feels like it was meant to stay buried, would you leave it behind or take it with you? This security guard was working a late-night shift at an empty school when he began hearing strange sounds echoing through the silent hallways. The building was completely deserted, with only the hum of distant wind and the occasional creak of old structures. At first he tried to ignore it, assuming it was just his imagination or the settling of the building at night. But as the sounds continued, he decided to record the situation to make sure he wasn't overreacting. As he moved deeper into the school with his camera rolling, the atmosphere began to feel heavier. The corridors were dimly lit, and every small sound seemed amplified in the emptiness. That's when he suddenly noticed something ahead of him. A shadow appeared briefly at the end of the hallway, standing still for a moment, before vanishing without any clear direction. Confused and alarmed, he rushed forward to investigate, but there was nothing there. He searched the area carefully, checking every corner and classroom, but found no sign of anyone. Still, the feeling of being watched did not go away. Some who later saw the footage believe it could be linked to the story of a girl who allegedly died within the school building years ago. The guard was left visibly shaken, unable to explain what he had seen or whether it had been real. If something appears only for a moment in an empty place, would you trust your eyes or doubt your mind? This incident remains unsolved. This footage was captured on the night of November 22nd, 2022, when police officers were deployed to investigate a house known for its reported paranormal activity. After confirming that no one was inside, the officers instructed the homeowner to wait outside while they began searching the property. The house was silent at first, with only the sound of footsteps echoing through the empty rooms. As the officers moved deeper inside, strange things began to happen. Unexplained noises echoed through the structure, though no visible source could be found. One officer suggested that a door might have shut due to the wind, but the sounds that followed did not match any simple explanation.
Anyone inside? Police! Anyone inside, make yourself known.
The atmosphere grew heavier as they continued their sweep, calling out to confirm if anyone was present, but receiving no response. Despite the logical approach, the situation began to feel increasingly unsettling. As they climbed the stairs, one officer reported feeling an unusual presence, even though he was alone on that section of the floor. He called out again, asking if anyone was upstairs or downstairs, but the house remained completely still. After finding nothing unusual, the officers began to withdraw, visibly uneasy and increasingly cautious. Even after leaving the house, they could not shake the feeling that someone had been watching them from inside. A man checked his doorbell camera and noticed a disturbing detail. Someone wearing a hoodie was standing directly in front of his house on December 9th at 22:18, just 2 minutes after he had entered his home at 22:16. The timing immediately caught his attention, as the street outside had seemed completely quiet when he arrived. He later explained that the person in the footage wasn't him, and he had not seen or heard anyone outside at the time. There were no footsteps, no knocks, and no indication that anyone was nearby when he entered the house. The figure simply appears on camera shortly after he goes inside, standing still near the doorway, as if waiting or observing. The possibility that someone may have followed him home left him unsettled, as the footage offers no clear explanation of who the person was or what they intended. No further activity was recorded afterward, and the figure eventually disappears from view. It remains unclear whether this was a coincidence or something more deliberate. If someone was really watching the moment he stepped inside, how close was he to danger without even knowing it? One of the friends entered the water and asked the other to record him as he swam. The camera began rolling, capturing what appeared to be a quiet, ordinary moment. But behind the swimmer, something unexpected appeared in the footage. A dark, shadow-like figure sitting motionless near the water's edge. It did not behave like a human being. It remained completely still, as if observing. The swimmer suddenly sensed something was wrong and called out to his friend. The moment the figure became visible through the camera, panic set in immediately. The swimmer rushed back to shore in distress, while the footage showed the dark shape slowly sinking beneath the water and disappearing without a trace. In the days that followed, the swimmer's condition worsened. Breathlessness, high fever, severe body pain, and persistent weakness that never fully healed. Many who have heard this story believe it was something supernatural, a jinn linked to the place. While others search for a natural explanation, no clear answer was ever confirmed. When something is seen in water for only a moment and then disappears as if it was never there, what do you believe it truly was? This is exactly why people say never go into the forest alone after dark. What started as a quiet solo hike quickly turned into something far more disturbing. The creator was calmly filming the trail ahead when they began to feel it, that strange sensation of being watched. At first, it was just small sounds, leaves shifting, faint steps off the path. But every time they turned the camera toward the trees, nothing was there. Then it happened.
Yep. I gotta get down. I can't go anymore. I'm leaving.
What is that?
Fuck is it? Dude, no! It looks like a person, man. But no person. It looks like a fucking person.
Deep between the trunks, something moved. Not clearly, not fully visible. Just a shape slipping from one tree to another. The way it moved wasn't normal walking. It was controlled, smooth, always staying just out of clear view, almost like it didn't want its face seen. The creator's breathing changes in the footage. You can hear the fear building as they realize, whatever it is, it's pacing them. We're analyzing the full clip frame by frame to study the movement patterns and figure out what was actually in those shadows. I track some of the most unexplainable encounters from around the world, and clips like this don't show up twice. So if you saw something following you in the dark that refused to fully reveal itself, would you stop and confront it, or pretend you never saw it at all? It was filmed using a Sony Handycam TRV-36 Hi8, and the footage looks old grainy like something straight from the early 2000s. The video shows an empty playground at night. No kids, no wind, just the faint hum and static of the camera capturing the dark, quiet scene. Shadows stretch across the ground, and the tall yellow slide stands alone, almost glowing in the weak light. The camera slowly moves toward the slide. At first, everything seems normal. The ladder, the platform, the dark tunnel at the top. Then something appears. From inside the slide, a solid white object begins to descend. Slowly. Not sliding like a person, not tumbling, just moving steadily down the enclosed tunnel. It doesn't look like clothing. It doesn't look like a child. Just a featureless white form gliding closer and closer. The person holding the camera doesn't speak. You can hear their breathing quicken as the object nears the bottom. And just as it's about to come out, the camera abruptly shuts off. No scream, no explanation, just darkness. So if you were there, holding a camera, and saw something like that sliding toward you, would you stay to see what comes out, or run before it reaches the bottom? In the middle of a dark forest, a horror content creator walks slowly along a damp dirt path, lit only by his camera's flashlight. The sound of insects fills the air, and tall trees block out the moonlight. He speaks softly to the camera, trying to stay calm. Then suddenly, he stops. Because standing right in the middle of the trail is a white figure wrapped from head to toe, completely still. Facing him, for a few seconds he doesn't move. Neither does the figure. He tries to convince himself it's just cloth caught on a branch. But then, without warning, the figure jumps backward, not turning around, not making a sound. It glides several meters back in one unnatural motion, still facing the camera the entire time. His breathing gets heavier. His hand starts shaking. He slowly steps back, and the flashlight beam shifts for just a second. And when it centers again, the white figure is gone. No footsteps, no sound, nothing. So if you were alone in that forest and saw something move like that, would you chase it to prove it's fake, or run without ever looking back? A group of hikers trekking through the mountains of Virginia were relaxing at the top of a rocky ridge, enjoying the view and catching their breath. The camera shows them laughing, sitting near the edge. Then, a low rumbling sound starts beneath them. At first they think it's just an animal moving inside a cave under the rocks. Maybe a bear. Maybe loose stones shifting. The sound grows louder. Suddenly, an earth-shattering roar explodes from below. Not a normal animal sound. This was deep, violent. It echoed through the mountain like something massive was trying to claw its way out from inside it. The ground beneath them begins to shift. Small rocks break loose and start sliding down the slope. One hiker loses footing and nearly slips off the edge. And if it wasn't for another member grabbing him at the last second, he would have fallen straight down the mountainside. The video cuts as the group scrambles away from the ridge, the roar still echoing behind them. Some believe it was a rock slide. Others are convinced it was something far bigger, something territorial. So what do you think was beneath that mountain? A natural collapse, or something like Bigfoot defending its ground? A farmer in rural Mexico began noticing something strange. His field caretakers refused to go out at night. They seemed nervous, distracted, constantly making excuses. When he demanded answers, they stayed quiet. Until one day, after he threatened to fire them, they finally told him the truth. The man claimed he had seen a woman standing alone among the crops before sunrise. At first, he thought she was a trespasser and went to confront her. But when she slowly turned toward him, her face wasn't normal. Hollowed eyes, sunken cheeks, skin stretched tight over bone. And when she opened her mouth to scream, she had a forked tongue. After that, he remembered nothing. The farmer didn't believe in ghost stories, so he decided to patrol the farm himself at night. On the second night, while recording, he captured something standing between the rows. A tall, thin figure, barely visible in the dark. The video ends just as it begins to move toward him. So what do you think is walking through those fields after midnight? A frightened imagination? Or something that was never human to begin with? In Sungai Undan, residents captured a massive crocodile after days of tense surveillance. The reptile was estimated to be nearly 7 meters long and weigh around 1 ton. Locals say the predator had been lurking near the riverbanks, creating fear throughout the community. With no advanced equipment, the villagers used simple tools, bait, ropes, and heavy pieces of wood to trap it. The operation was extremely dangerous. One wrong move could have cost someone their life.
Allahu Akbar! Besarnya! Ya Allah! Ya Allah! Besarnya! Astagfirullahaladzim! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar ya Allah! Allahu Akbar! Tembak-tembak! Muntah! Ikat pelampung tu pelampung ikat! Pelampung! Ya Allah! Ya Allah! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Awas pan. Tali kampung.
The struggle to restrain and drag the giant reptile onto land was filled with high tension. But somehow, no injuries were reported. Once secured, officials evacuated the crocodile to be handled by BKSDA Riau for proper management. But seeing a creature that large pulled from the same waters people use every day raises a chilling thought. If one giant was hiding there all along, how many more are still beneath the surface? A video from 2006 shows a disturbing humanoid figure that many people connect to the urban legend known as the Rake, sometimes called the Monstruo Rastrillo.
La última batería como queda. Tío, es que esto flipa, ¿eh? Que sí, collons, que sí, tia. Escolta. Ho sents o no? Va, corre, tia, va!
The footage is low-quality shaky, like it was never meant to capture something clearly. In the clip, a pale, thin figure appears crouched near the edge of a wooded area at night. Its limbs look unnaturally long, its posture wrong, almost animal-like. For a few seconds, it doesn't move. Then suddenly, it shifts forward in a jerky motion. Not walking normally, but crawling, low to the ground. The person filming starts breathing heavily, the camera struggling to focus in the darkness. The figure seems to notice the camera and tilts its head slightly, as if studying the person watching it. The video ends abruptly, cutting to black without explanation. No official source ever confirmed what was captured that night. Some say it was staged. Others believe it was something never meant to be seen. But if you were alone and saw a pale figure like that crawling toward you in the dark, would you stay and record? Or drop the camera and run? A fisherman in Indonesia captured something strange on the surface of a quiet river. At first, it looked like a small disturbance in the water, but within seconds, it formed into a visible vortex, spinning tightly, cutting through the calm surface. What made it unsettling was the way it moved. It didn't just spin in place, it traveled, rapidly, heading straight toward the shore, as if something underneath was guiding it. The fisherman can be heard breathing nervously as the swirling water approaches land. There was no boat nearby, no visible object beneath the surface, no storm, no strong wind. And then, just as quickly as it appeared, the vortex vanished. The water went still, like nothing had ever happened. Some believe it was caused by underwater groundwater movement or gas escaping from beneath the riverbed. Others say it could be a rare natural phenomenon science doesn't fully understand yet. And of course, there are those who think it may be something far less ordinary. With so many unexplained anomalies being reported around the world lately, you have to wonder if the water beside you suddenly started moving with purpose. Would you assume it's nature or something else entirely? That night, the sky looked completely normal. Dark, calm, silent. And then, out of nowhere, a ball of fire appeared in the sky. It didn't streak across like a shooting star. It didn't flash and disappear. It hovered, glowing bright, moving slowly and steadily, almost controlled.
Apa emang?
Apa ini nih? Nggak mati-mati nih ya?
Apa banaspati itu emangnya? Hah?
Hantu, Jan.
Oh iya bang. Bang.
Wih, nggak mati-mati dia.
Oh iya bang. Iya tuh bang. Oh iya tuh.
Apa ini ya?
The person filming can be heard whispering in disbelief as the fiery orb drifts across the darkness. Its light stays consistent. No sparks falling, no explosion. Just a stable, floating flame suspended in the air. It doesn't behave like typical space debris. Doesn't look random. It moves with strange calmness before slowly fading from view. Some say it was a rare natural phenomenon. Others choose to stay quiet, unsure of what they witnessed. But the camera clearly captured the moment the night sky revealed something unusual. So, if you looked up and saw a glowing ball of fire hovering silently above you, would you assume it's science or something we still don't understand? Late one night, a couple of security guards noticed something strange across the street. At first, it was just a dark shape moving under a dim streetlight. But the longer they stared, the more wrong it felt. One guard immediately pulled out his phone to record, while the other slowly walked toward the exact spot where the figure had been seen. The street was quiet. No cars, no wind, just tension in the air.
Right now, you guys ain't believe me, but by the fire hydrant, I seen somebody walk by and they disappeared by the tree. I know you think I'm fucking crazy. ¿Viste, güey? Iba pasando, someone was walking by, bro, and they just disappeared when they got by the tree.
Un guardia de seguridad se dirige al lugar donde su compañero
I'm serious,
asegura que
man.
vio algo.
There was a lady walking. ¿Qué pasó, güey? Oh, güey, mira. Ahí va saliendo. What the fuck? Mira. What the hell? Salió de un hoyo, güey, no mames. Mira. Ahí va. What the fuck?
According to them, the dark figure was clearly walking along the road, not running, not floating, just walking. And then it suddenly vanished, not turned a corner, not ducked behind a car, just disappeared. When the guard reached the spot seconds later, there was no one there. Empty pavement, empty sidewalk, nothing. They were about to brush it off. When moments later, the dark figure appeared again further down the street. Same shape, same slow movement. Some believe it could be a witch. Others think it might be something else entirely. So, if you saw a shadow walking at night that vanished right in front of you, would you assume it's your eyes playing tricks or something watching from the dark? Off the coast of Vancouver, a strange light suddenly appeared in the sky. The video was recorded from a boat when a bright horizontal line cut across the clouds. It moved steadily, kept a constant intensity, and then vanished without a trace. No defined object, no sound, no flashes of lightning, just a mysterious glow hovering above the water. Some say it could be a rare atmospheric phenomenon. Others speculate it's unidentified technology. The video is shared exactly as it was captured. No edits, no filters, no effects. Nothing was added, nothing removed. So if you were on that boat and saw a bright line silently slicing through the clouds, would you try to follow it or watch quietly, wondering what else might be out there? Have you ever watched a thunderstorm where the lightning flashes so fast the sky barely has time to go dark? It almost feels unreal, like the clouds are flickering instead of striking. That kind of non-stop lightning usually isn't random. It's a sign that something powerful is happening inside the storm. One major reason for this is something called convective available potential energy, or CAPE. The CAPE measures how unstable the atmosphere is and how much energy rising warm air contains.
What does that mean?
It's heat lightning. That's what Thomas was. I really don't know what that means.
Oh, I saw something over there.
But for people that haven't seen it, it's crazy.
I mean, I don't think. Where?
Over there, on the right. It looks like a funnel or something.
Holy shit!
When warm air rises and stays warmer than the air around it, it keeps accelerating upward. The higher the CAPE value measured in joules per kilogram, the stronger those updrafts become. And in storms with very high CAPE, those intense updrafts separate electrical charges inside the cloud much faster. Energy builds quickly. The electric field breaks down repeatedly, and lightning fires again and again, sometimes multiple times per second. So when you see the sky flashing non-stop, you're witnessing a storm packed with extreme instability and power. The real question is, if it's generating that much energy above you, how much stronger could it still become? In the remote rivers of southern and central Thailand, massive freshwater crocodiles lurk beneath the surface. The most feared is the Siamese crocodile, which can grow over 13 feet long. In recent years, small boats carrying fishermen and wood have reportedly been attacked or even destroyed when these crocodiles defended their territory. Experts warn that murky water, strong currents, and thick mangroves make these rivers extremely dangerous, especially at night. You can't see what's beneath you. Officials advise avoiding remote waterways after dark, staying away from riverbanks where crocodiles are known to rest, and never trying to feed or approach them. Thailand's rivers are beautiful, but beauty can hide danger. So if your small boat suddenly rocked in the middle of a silent, muddy river, would you assume it's just the current or something rising from below? A young man went deep into the woods for a quiet camping trip, hoping to spend the night alone with nature. Everything seemed peaceful at first, but sometime after midnight, he heard something that didn't belong there. The sound of a child crying. It was faint, distant, but clear enough to freeze him in place. Against his better judgment, he grabbed his camera and followed the sound deeper into the forest, pushing past branches and shadows. As he moved closer, the crying grew louder. Then, through the trees, he saw something disturbing. Behind a thick tree trunk stood a woman with long hair completely covering her face. She wasn't wearing any clothes. In front of her was what looked like a small child, and she appeared to be doing something unnatural, something he couldn't fully understand from where he stood. The air felt heavy, wrong, like he had stepped into something he was never meant to witness. Suddenly, the crying stopped. There was a brief silence, and then only the man's scream echoed through the woods. The camera dropped to the ground, the footage shaking violently before going still. The video ends there. No confirmation of what happened next. No sign of whether he survived. So tell me, if you heard a child crying alone in the middle of the forest at midnight, would you go looking for it? At first, he only took the forest road to get home faster. There was nothing strange about it. He simply started recording because the path was unusually quiet. No cars, no people. Just trees closing in on both sides of the narrow road. But after a few minutes, an uneasy feeling crept in, like something was following just out of sight. When he pointed the camera ahead, a white figure stood motionless between the trees. A pokong, wrapped tight, completely still. He tried to convince himself it was just a shadow, a trick of the light, until, from the left side of the frame, something else appeared.
Detik-detik.
Men, tinggi banget ini, men.
Bang Boys.
Di atas permukaan tanah,
Dikejar
cuy.
kun-kun.
Assalamualaikum. Hei! Kamu apa itu di situ diam? Maju sini. Allahu Akbar, astagfirullah. Allah. Permisi. Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. Allahumma shalli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala Allahu Akbar, astagfirullahaladzim. Auzu bi kalimatillahi tammati min syarri ma khalaq. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minadh dhalimin. Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. La ta'khudhuhu sinatun wa la nawm. Allahu Akbar. Acay.
A woman, floating. Her long black hair covered her face, her body gliding unnaturally above the ground. And then she started chasing him. Not running, not walking, just moving toward him faster than she should have been able to. The video doesn't end because he stopped recording. It ends because the camera falls when he starts running. The screen shakes, the forest spins, and then nothing. So tell me, did you notice the most terrifying part of the clip? One winter night, a man was sitting inside his car on a lonely road beside a forest. Snow had fallen heavily, blanketing the ground in thick, white silence. The engine was off, and the world felt frozen in place. Then he heard it, a long, sad, crying sound, stretching through the darkness. At first it seemed far away, almost beautiful. But as it echoed across the trees, it didn't feel natural. It felt deliberate, like something had noticed him. The howl came again, closer this time. Not just a clean howl, but something strange mixed in. A low growl, a sharp bark, then that drawn-out cry. His breath fogged the windshield as he tried to see through the swirling snow. That's when he realized something unsettling. The sound wasn't moving. It was circling. Slowly. As if whatever was out there wasn't just calling to a pack, but communicating with something unseen in the forest. He locked the doors, heart pounding. The final howl shattered the silence right beside the van, so close it vibrated through the metal frame. But when he forced himself to look outside, there were no tracks in the snow. Nothing at all. Just endless, empty white. In parts of Africa, there is a legend about a spirit called the Dust Devil. People say it protects the forests and controls the wind. Some believe it is an ancient spirit that can take the shape of an animal, move through the trees, and then disappear into the ground. When it rises, it forms a spinning column of dust, and wherever it goes, it can leave damage behind. One day, a group of tourists were driving near a forest when they saw a strange dust spiral forming ahead of them. At first, it looked like normal wind, but then it began to move in a way that felt almost controlled. Through the dust, some of them thought they saw a dark shape moving inside it. The wind grew stronger, and their voices in the video sounded nervous as they stepped back. The clip ends with the dust swirling, and the group unsure of what they had just seen. Many people say it was just a natural dust vortex, but others wonder, if it was only wind, why did it seem to move with purpose? In the middle of the day, a man walked deep into the forest and suddenly spotted a massive snake coiled tightly around something in the bushes. Its body was unnaturally thick, stretched across the ground like a fallen tree. Without thinking twice, he raised his rifle and fired. The shot echoed through the woods, but the snake didn't die. Instead, it slowly lifted its head and looked straight at him. Its eyes didn't look wild, they looked aware. He fired again. The snake began to uncoil and retreat into the trees. Panic mixed with adrenaline, and he kept shooting, determined not to let it escape. The forest felt strangely silent, almost heavy, as if something unseen was watching. Finally, after several shots, the snake collapsed and stopped moving. But when he stepped closer, his blood ran cold. Whatever the snake had been wrapped around was gone. Nobody. No blood, then just disturbed soil and faint drag marks leading deeper into the forest. The snake hadn't been hunting. It had been restraining something. And now, whatever it was free. Now tell me, if you were standing there, watching that enormous creature in the forest, would you have pulled the trigger? The video opens in complete darkness, deep in the woods at night. A shaky flashlight beam slices through the black, revealing pieces of trees and empty forest floor. The air feels heavy, silent except for nervous breathing behind the camera. Then the light lands on a large, twisted tree trunk, and that's when something becomes visible. Clinging to the bark is a tall, shadowy figure with pale, grayish skin. Its limbs are thin, too thin, long. Sharp fingers dig into the wood as if it's part of the tree itself. The creature doesn't charge, it doesn't scream, it simply holds on, perfectly still, blending into the rough texture of the trunk. The patches of light and shadow almost hide it completely, like it was never meant to be seen unless the beam hit it just right. What makes the moment even more disturbing is that it doesn't try to escape. It stays there, watching, almost camouflaged, almost patient. The video ends with the flashlight still trembling, fixed on the figure that refuses to move. So tell me, if you were alone in those woods and your light revealed something clinging to a tree like that, would you keep shining the beam or slowly turn it off? A man in Medan was sitting outside, sipping his coffee on an ordinary afternoon. The street was quiet, the wind barely moving the leaves. Nothing seemed unusual. Then, his eyes caught a lone figure walking slowly along the roadside. An older man carrying a black bag, moving with a calm, deliberate pace. But something about him was wrong. The upper part of his body, it simply wasn't there. From the angle of the camera, it looked as if his head had vanished into thin air, leaving only a torso moving unnaturally forward. The figure didn't stumble, didn't hesitate. He continued walking, straight and steady, blending into the trees and light around him, as if the world itself was allowing him to exist, only partially. The man filming didn't notice at first, only realizing the chilling impossibility when replaying the footage. The silhouette carried on until it disappeared around the corner, leaving behind only the quiet street and a lingering sense of unease. Locals say this part of the road is rarely used, and some believe that not everything that appears here is entirely of this world. Sometimes, things show themselves, only partially, only long enough to be seen, and then vanish. So tell me, if you were standing there and saw a figure walking without a head, would you approach it or run before it notices you? A family was driving along Old Mill Road near Pine Hollow Forest in West Virginia when their headlights caught something standing ahead. A woman dressed in white. Her neck was tilted at an unnatural angle. Long, dark hair clung to her face, and blood stained the front of her dress. For a brief second, she stood perfectly still in the beam of light. Then she moved. She didn't walk. She ran, keeping pace with the car. A family member began recording as panic filled the vehicle. No matter how fast they accelerated, she stayed beside them. Witnesses say her feet never seemed to touch the ground, and when the driver pressed harder on the gas, she turned her head slowly and smiled. The video continues for a few more seconds. No camera drop, no explanation, just her figure gliding behind them in the darkness. Then the clip abruptly ends. The next morning, the family's car was found abandoned near that same stretch of road. The doors were unlocked. Their phones were still inside. The engine was cold. The family was never seen again. Locals say the woman appears only when she's been invited to be seen, and once she follows you, she never stops. So tell me, if you looked in your rearview mirror and saw her still keeping pace, what would you do? This is the terrifying video of Sergei, a Russian hunter who ventured deep into the Siberian forest in search of game. The wilderness stretched endlessly around him, towering trees, frozen ground, and a silence so thick it almost felt alive. He set up for the night expecting nothing more than the usual sounds of the wild. But as darkness settled in, the forest didn't feel empty anymore. At first, it was just distant movement between the trees. Then came unfamiliar noises, not quite animal, not quite human. Sergei turned on his camera. I'm scanning the darkness with a trembling light. Shadows shifted in ways that didn't match the wind. The deeper he looked into the forest, the more it felt like something was watching him back. Oh. What was meant to be a simple hunting trip became the most chilling night of his life. The video ends without clear answers, only heavy breathing, and the sense that the forest holds secrets it doesn't want discovered. So tell me, if you were alone in the depths of Siberia and realized you weren't the only one out there, would you stay or run before it's too late? A chilling video from the Grand Canyon captures how quickly a thrill-seeking decision can spiral out of control.
Oh no. Oh no. Shit, man. Don't look, don't look. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
In the footage, a man climbs past clearly posted safety warnings and steps beyond the protective metal railing. He carefully makes his way onto a narrow rocky ledge, suspended above a massive drop into the canyon below. The view is breathtaking, but dangerously deceptive. Off camera, his friends' voices grow more urgent. What starts as nervous laughter quickly shifts to panic. As the man tries to adjust his footing and stand upright, the loose dirt beneath him suddenly crumbles. In a split second, he loses balance and slips over the edge. The camera jerks violently as screams echo through the canyon, and someone can be heard calling for emergency help. The video ends in chaos, leaving viewers shaken. At extreme heights like this, there is no room for mistakes. One unstable patch of ground is all it takes to turn a risky photo into a life-altering tragedy. Nature doesn't negotiate with overconfidence. So tell me, would you ever cross a safety barrier just for the perfect shot? A man exploring deep in the Amazon jungle claims he stumbled upon something no one had documented before. A strange plant unlike anything he had ever seen. At first, it looked almost beautiful, with bright, unnatural coloring that stood out against the dense green forest. But when he spoke near it, the flowers instantly folded inward, hiding themselves at the mere sound of a human voice. Not touch, not movement, just sound. Scientists later examined the footage and were stunned. Plants reacting to physical contact are common, but one that responds immediately to sound alone? That behavior had never been recorded. Even more disturbing, laboratory analysis reportedly found traces of animal cells within the plant's structure, suggesting it may not be entirely passive. Some researchers believe it could have predatory traits, possibly feeding on living organisms. And those bright colors? They may signal the presence of powerful toxins. Experts are still trying to determine where this plant came from and how its defense mechanism truly works. With only about 15% of the Amazon ever explored, countless species remain hidden in the shadows. But after seeing how this one reacts to a human voice, you have to wonder, if the forest can hear you, what else might be listening? A young man named OFI, living in Eskişehir, Turkey, had taken up fishing as a hobby. Obsessed with a bet to catch the biggest fish, he became determined to prove himself. One night, he set up camp at Çatıran Dam, eager to win the challenge. He even placed a camera at the water's edge to record his success, waiting patiently in the dark. Around midnight, he spotted a fish so large it seemed almost human-sized. Driven by ambition, he jumped into the water, certain he was about to claim the prize. What he encountered was far from ordinary. Instead of a normal fish, OFA came face to face with a humanoid creature unlike anything seen before. Its strange, unnatural form and violent struggle nearly cost him his life. The horrifying moment left him shaken to his core, questioning what really existed in the depths of the dam. After that night, OFA never returned to fishing. He packed up and went home, convinced he had witnessed something supernatural. He even swore off eating fish entirely. So tell me, if you saw something in the water that defied all explanation, would you ever go fishing again? This incredible display of Batesian mimicry features a hawk moth caterpillar that has evolved to look exactly like a snake. By tucking its tiny head away and inflating the rear segments of its body, it reveals large, menacing eye spots that create a remarkably convincing illusion of a dangerous reptile.
Okay, one more time because it is pretty incredible. That's the tail that you're looking at, the one that looks like the head. I'm trying, but until she turns around, that looks like a snake, right? It's not, it's just a caterpillar, but it's made to look like a snake. And this one, more than any other, looks the most like a snake I've ever seen. Guys didn't even believe me. Jesus, look at that head on it, but it's a tail. The head is actually up here. It's so cool, this thing. So good. Thank you for doing that, Leah. Jesus, look at that. Incredible.
Predators, biologically programmed to fear snakes, often hesitate. And that split-second pause can make all the difference. The caterpillar's deception is more than just clever. It's a matter of survival. By imitating a predator rather than trying to fight, it avoids becoming someone else's meal entirely. Nature, in this way, has perfected the art of disguise, turning vulnerability into an extraordinary advantage. So tell me, if you stumbled upon what looked like a snake in the wild only to realize it wasn't, would you be impressed by its trick or terrified? This terrifying clip was uploaded on Real D's Dark Adventures' TikTok. A man went camping alone deep inside a forest, planning to spend the night surrounded by silence and darkness. Hours passed without incident, until late at night, he stepped outside his tent with a flashlight, slowly scanning the trees. The forest felt unusually still, as if everything had paused. As the beam of light moved forward, it suddenly caught something staring straight back at him. It wasn't moving. It wasn't hiding. The shape was massive, far larger than any animal he could recognize. The eyes reflected the light, locked onto him, unblinking.
It's the same one. That's big, guys. That's big. I'm telling you, if it stands up. That's big. That's big. That's big. I don't know how. That's big. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Nope. That's big, dude. No. Guys, those eyes got like a foot. Okay.
For a moment, neither of them moved, and the distance between them felt dangerously small. Fear took over. He didn't wait to find out what it was or why it was watching him. He backed away, grabbed what he could, and left the campsite immediately, convinced he had wandered somewhere he was never meant to stay. And when something in the forest watches you before you notice it, would you still call it just another camping trip? This terrifying clip was uploaded on History Fuzz's TikTok. A group of people went camping deep inside a remote jungle, exploring the area during daylight before nightfall. As they moved uphill, one of them noticed something strange in the landscape. On the left side, the terrain seemed to form the shape of a massive serpent. Just ahead, the rock formation began to resemble a bird's head. An eye-like hollow, a rounded back of the skull, and what looked eerily like a beak. At first, they laughed it off, thinking it was just imagination. But as they continued moving downhill, the shapes became harder to ignore.
Past the horn-nosed serpent on the left, and the team are just coming upon the bird's head that looks like an eye with a bulbous back of the head and a beak. And that's us now making down towards the back of the caiman. There's the back.
From a higher angle, the formation now looked like the body of a giant caiman. The back, the snout, and a single eye shape were clearly visible, with what appeared to be an open mouth near the bottom of the hill. The camera kept rolling as they passed what looked like horned shapes in the rock, and the mood slowly shifted from curiosity to unease. None of them could explain why the shapes felt so deliberate, almost too perfect to be natural. Some believe it was nothing more than pareidolia, the mind finding patterns where none exist. Others think the jungle was hiding something older, watching quietly as they passed through. And when the land itself starts to look alive, would you keep walking or turn back before night falls? This disturbing clip was uploaded on Neobsnimastyle's Instagram. A few friends went camping deep in a dense forest as night began to fall. Around them, dry leaves littered the ground, and the forest seemed quiet, almost too quiet. They had set up their tents on a small clearing, perched on a little rise, thinking it was a safe spot for the night. Suddenly, the darkness was filled with terrifying, unexplainable sounds. Screams, growls, howls. The friends froze, hearts pounding, unsure if what they were hearing was human, animal, or something far more sinister. Every rustle of leaves and shadow moving in the trees made the fear grow. They had no idea what was approaching, but instinct told them to stay calm and stick together. Rescue teams and researchers might later try to explain these sounds, but for the campers in that forest, there was no time for logic, only survival. Was it just a wild animal, or something truly unknown lurking in the dark? One thing is certain, in the forest at night, every sound can become a nightmare. So, when you head into the woods after dark, would you dare stay if you heard something that shouldn't exist? This scary clip was uploaded on Zach Lake Powell's Instagram. A few boys and girls went camping in the middle of a narrow valley, wedged between two towering mountains. On either side of them were massive cliffs and huge rocks, making the spot look adventurous, but also extremely risky. At first, everything seemed calm. The air was fresh, and the group was excited for their little escape into nature. Suddenly, rain started pouring down from above. Water began rushing down the slopes on both sides of the mountains, quickly filling the valley.
This wasn't the plan.
The group realized the danger and scrambled towards safer, higher ground. In an instant, the narrow valley could have trapped them completely. The sheer speed of the flood left their hearts racing. They barely managed to get out in time. It was a shocking reminder of how powerful and unpredictable nature can be. Even a seemingly peaceful camping spot can turn deadly in seconds. Adventure is thrilling, but survival depends on awareness, quick thinking, and respect for the environment. This encounter proves that sometimes the mountains don't give warnings, and you have to run for your life. So, when you head into the wilderness, are you truly ready for the moment nature strikes without warning? Fahad MK went camping deep in a dense forest during the daytime. The forest was thick and overgrown, full of shadows and hidden corners. Fahad rode his bike into the area, searching for the perfect spot to set up his camp. He climbed a tall tree to scout the location and get a better view of the surrounding area. Suddenly, he heard an unexpected sound below. Looking down, his heart sank. A tiger was hiding in the forest, stalking the very spot he had chosen for camping. Fahad realized immediately that if he went down, the tiger could attack. Fear gripped him as he understood just how close the danger was. That once peaceful forest had turned into a deadly trap in an instant. This encounter left Fahad shaken and with a hard lesson. Sometimes, no matter how carefully you plan, nature's predators can appear without warning. After this, it's unlikely he'll ever camp in that forest again. It's a chilling reminder that in the wild, you're never truly safe. And even a beautiful forest can hide a deadly threat. So, the real question is, would you risk camping knowing a predator could be lying in wait? This scary clip was uploaded on Reed Timmer's Instagram. What starts as an ordinary outdoor adventure quickly turns into a nightmare no one was prepared for. Campers across Tornado Alley set up for the night, unaware that nature was about to unleash its full power. In one chilling moment, storm chasers inside the Dominator 3 intercept a massive tornado as it forms. Instruments record winds reaching an unbelievable 120 miles per hour inside the suction vortex, the exact moment the tornado plants itself on the ground.
Power flashes! Touching up right here! Debris in the car! This is somebody's house! We're gonna need to turn around, guys! Direct intercept dirt into the door! Direct intercept dirt into the door!
As night falls, the danger doesn't fade. Instead, it moves closer. A powerful tornado later strikes Valley View, Texas, tearing through the area and proving that Tornado Alley is truly active again. For anyone camping nearby, there's no shelter, no warning strong enough, only the desperate need to escape before it's too late. With meteorologists closely watching the October 20th to 23rd window for the start of the fall severe weather season, one thing is clear: these storms are far from over. Live Dominator mode will return soon. But for campers caught in the open, the real question is, when the sky turns violent with nowhere to hide, would you know how to survive? This terrifying clip was uploaded on Haley_country_mom's Instagram. In this video, we can see a family enjoying a peaceful camping trip near a waterfall in the mountains. The mother is recording a video of their children and the father, capturing their happy moments as they sit together, laughing and having fun. It's a quiet, joyful day. One of those rare moments where everything feels calm, safe, and perfect in the middle of nature. Suddenly, the father notices something unusual. He freezes, then points ahead with his finger. At the same moment, their daughter nervously tells her mother that there's a crocodile on the mountain slope. When they all finally spot it, fear instantly takes over. The crocodile is there, right in front of them, and it looks terrifying. Its mouth is wide open, as if it's ready to attack, giving the impression that it's about to choose one of them as its prey. For a moment, it feels like the crocodile is targeting them, moving as if it intends to strike. The family realizes just how dangerous this place truly is, a reminder that wild animals can appear even in places that seem safe and beautiful. This area, deep within the hills and forest, suddenly feels extremely frightening. And it leaves one unsettling question behind. Were there more crocodiles hiding nearby, watching them all along? This scary clip was uploaded on Ali Gobasti's Instagram. This clip shows a terrifying moment from the Chipperson Valley, where a peaceful camping trip quickly turned into a fight for survival. Campers had settled near the mountains of Yeshkuk, enjoying the silence of nature, unaware that they were standing directly at the epicenter of a powerful force waiting to strike. Without any warning, the ground began to shake violently. A 5.8 magnitude earthquake ripped through the valley, turning the calm campsite into chaos within seconds. Tents trembled, rocks crashed down from nearby slopes, and dust filled the air. Extremely alarming footage captured the moment when campers realized they were in grave danger, scrambling to run as the earth beneath them refused to stay still. Panic spread fast. With no shelter and the mountains surrounding them, every second felt like a gamble between life and death. What began as an adventure instantly became a desperate escape from nature's raw power. And as the shaking slowly faded, one haunting question remained. If the earth can turn deadly without warning, would you know when to run and when it's already too late? On March 15th, 2025, a group of hikers set out to climb Spantic Peak, which rises to 7,027 meters in Pakistan's Karakoram Range. At first, the ascent seemed straightforward, but the thin snow covering much of the mountain made every step uncertain. Patches of exposed earth revealed treacherous terrain, turning each movement into a delicate balance between safety and disaster. The climbers could feel the mountain's quiet unpredictability, knowing that one wrong step could send them sliding down the slope. But the calm didn't last long. Suddenly, a massive boulder perched precariously at the top of a nearby hill began to shift. Slowly at first, then faster, it tumbled downward, scattering smaller stones in every direction. The campers screamed and scrambled, hearts pounding as the giant rock barreled toward them. What should have been a peaceful adventure had turned into a desperate fight for survival. These chilling encounters remind us that the wilderness is as unforgiving as it is beautiful. From tumbling boulders to slippery mountain slopes, the line between adventure and peril can vanish in an instant. Every trip into the wild carries risk, and every step could be the one that changes everything. So when you head into the mountains, ask yourself, are you ready to survive when nature decides to fight back? This scary clip was uploaded on Guide Toysland's Instagram. A few people went camping on Reynisfjara Black Sand Beach in Iceland. The beach was stunning, covered in black sand, scattered with small rocks, and surrounded by icy cliffs. The waves crashed onto the shore, creating a mesmerizing but powerful scene that seemed almost otherworldly. As one person filmed the scenery, a massive wave suddenly surged toward the group. The force of the ocean threw one of them into the water. In a terrifying instant, the camper was being swept away, struggling against the icy current. Panic set in as the others scrambled, trying to pull their friend to safety. Against all odds, quick thinking and teamwork saved them. But the moment was a chilling reminder of how unpredictable the sea can be. Iceland's nature is breathtaking, but also unforgiving. No photo or video is worth risking your life. Adventure is thrilling, but staying alert, respecting warning signs, and keeping a safe distance can mean the difference between life and death. So when you visit wild beaches like this, would you risk standing too close to nature's power? This terrifying clip was uploaded on Lakrama's Instagram. What seemed like a calm moment suddenly turns intense when a tiger steps onto the road. It moves with calm confidence, glancing at the campers and walking dangerously close along the path, every step powerful and deliberate. The forest falls completely silent, as if the entire wilderness is holding its breath. No birds, no wind, only the presence of the tiger and the frozen visitors. What was meant to be a peaceful camping experience instantly becomes a moment of pure tension, balanced between awe and fear. Long after the tiger passes, its presence lingers in the mind, a reminder of the wild's raw and unpredictable power. If a predator like this can appear so suddenly in daylight, even while camping, would you know whether to stay still or make a move? This incredible clip was uploaded on Puberty's Instagram. Two friends were camping near a river, surrounded by ice and snow during a cold winter day. The riverbanks were frozen, and the world seemed calm and quiet under the low winter sun. They set up their campsite, enjoying the serene, icy landscape, completely unaware of the danger building upstream. Suddenly, they noticed something unusual. A large surge of water coming from the river, carrying chunks of ice with it. The ice dam upstream had given way, and the water, trapped for hours, rushed downstream with incredible force. Sheets of ice cracked and tumbled into the river, creating a powerful, roaring surge. The campers watched in shock as the icy torrent swept along, carrying massive chunks of frozen water that could have easily destroyed anything in its path. It was a chilling reminder of how quickly nature can change. A peaceful river can turn into a dangerous flood in moments, and survival often comes down to awareness and quick action. Adventure is thrilling, but in the wild, you have to respect the forces around you. So, when you camp near icy rivers or streams, would you risk staying when nature decides to unleash its power? This incredible clip was uploaded on Sapavago's Instagram. Someone went camping in a park near a forest in Yosemite National Park, California, on December 26, 2025. The day was calm, with light rain falling, and the campsite felt peaceful. But as they stepped out of their camper, something caught their eye. A beautiful, wild bobcat, quietly moving through the trees nearby. The animal was stunning, but anyone who has spent time in the wilderness knows that wild cats, even small ones like a bobcat, can be dangerous. For a brief moment, the camper and the bobcat crossed paths, standing just feet apart. The tension was high. Every move mattered. But fortunately, neither was harmed. The encounter was unforgettable, a thrilling reminder that in the wild, beauty and danger often come hand in hand. It's moments like these that make you respect the forest. Even on a calm day, the wilderness is unpredictable, and encounters with wildlife can shift from awe-inspiring to dangerous in seconds. So, the real question is, if you came face to face with a wild predator like this, would you stay calm or run for your life? This terrifying clip was uploaded on Imankulit's TikTok and shows a group of friends who went camping in a forest along a mountainside, guided by a local tourist guide. Recent rain had soaked the ground, making every step slippery and tense. As they moved deeper into the forest, one of them, John, suddenly cried out in pain, clutching his eye and calling for help. When the group looked closer, they realized something alive was moving inside his eye. Panic spread instantly. They tried to remove it, but whatever it was refused to come out. John screamed in fear and pain as his friends struggled, unsure of what they were dealing with. After a long and terrifying moment, they finally managed to remove it safely. Relief washed over the group, but the fear stayed with them. If something so small and unexpected can turn a camping trip into a nightmare, would you know how to react? A few people went camping on a beach on a sunny day. The shoreline looked calm and inviting, but the ocean was hiding a dangerous secret. One of them noticed a massive wave approaching from the distance and quickly realized it was no ordinary surf. It was a sneaker wave, the kind that can surge far beyond the normal waterline, pulling everything in its path back into the sea. As the wave barreled toward the campers, they scrambled toward higher ground, filming the unfolding chaos. Another wave came, striking even closer, and two of the group were caught by the sudden surge. Fortunately, a brave companion rushed in to help, pulling them to safety just in time. The rest of the group watched in shock as the ocean displayed its raw, unpredictable power. After the wave retreated, it was unclear if everyone was unharmed, leaving a chilling reminder of the ocean's deadly potential. Calm waters can be deceiving. Sneaker waves strike without warning, faster than anyone can run, and the ocean never asks permission before it turns deadly. Adventure can be breathtaking, but respect for the water and quick thinking can save your life. So the question remains, would you recognize the danger before it's too late? Before we go any further, I'd like to ask you for a quick favor. If you are enjoying the video so far, please give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. We're getting closer to 30,000 subscribers, and once we hit that milestone, a few lucky subscribers will receive a special surprise. Now let's go back to the video.